Hello and welcome again to another edition of Connect on Way. I'm your host, Steve Green, and in the studio with us today from Hope Collaborative, the Executive Director, Scott Brown. Scott, it's great to have you with us today.
Steve, it's great to be here.
Well, we are going to talk about Hope Collaborative and what you're doing with kids in the community. It's really a neat program. The more I hear from you, the more excited I am to know what you're doing there at Hope Collaborative. So let's just kind of start off with talking about what it is.
Yeah. Hope Collaborative is a Christian community development organization. Just really is focused on community change and transformation through relationship.
Sounds good. So relationships as far as between who?
Between who? Yeah, great question. We like to place adults with students, particularly at-risk students, but placing the consistent presence of a caring adult with students is our goal. So all students through school, we like to help out.
That sounds good. So what brought you to Hope Collaborative?
Yeah, I'd spent many years pastoring. One of the things that I found most rewarding in my pastoral career was connecting with the community and really bringing the church into the community in a way that brings about transformation. Right. This gives me a great opportunity to do that.
Boy, hands-on, I would say.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, so when you talk about this consistent presence of a caring adult, I like the way that's stated because that's exactly what a lot of these kids need, is just that consistency. So what does that look like? I know you have multiple layers to Hope Collaborative. So what does that look like when it's all played out?
Yeah, there's multiple programs from the school program to which we place Christian adults in public schools throughout our community. We serve 7 school districts in the greater Kentuciana area. And the goal is to go in there and spend some time with those students, invest in them each week. And they do this throughout the school year. And then in our diversion program, similar, placing mentors with those students on an ongoing basis, week after week, makes that transformation. And then we get the privilege of doing that on a daily basis at our place called Hope Place.
That sounds good. Now, you mentioned a second program called Diversion.
Yeah. Diversion's in conjunction with the courts. And what we do there is take students that have been identified by the judges as students that they think have a chance of staying out of the system. So before they actually go to trial, they are given the opportunity to join one of our workshops. And we take them on a journey about making life choices. And in the midst of taking them on that journey about their life choices, we partner them with mentors to influence them and encourage them.
Now, if we go back to the first one again, the mentors, what kind of feedback do you get from the people that are acting as mentors as far as how rewarding it is for them? And do you see them come back over and over?
Absolutely. In the mentors case for our public school outreach program, over 90% of our mentors will return year after year.
Beautiful.
And that's because they enjoy that relationship. Most of them start out a little bit nervous, depends on the personality, but after they spend a few weeks and then even a few months with these students, they find it very rewarding and see the value of that consistent relationship.
Sure. So is this one-on-one, or what does the mentorship look like?
Yeah. In the school outreach, our mentor will go 1 hour a week during the school year, and they will meet with 4 students.
Okay.
And during that time, they will coach them and encourage them. They're not the teacher. They're not the principal. They're not the parent. They are there to love them. And while we have a guided course of materials, the real focus is just being present.
And so just thinking about this, that consistent presence, once again, do you find that the kids open up to their mentor?
Yes. Most of the time they start with a little bit of apprehension because the school selects them and it says, hey, and so they come there thinking I'm in trouble. And yet they quickly realize that no, we're not there to sort through the things of school discipline or all those things. We're there to be present with them and engage. And so after usually a few weeks, many of our mentors will come back and they have to do reports after each session. They'll come back and just say, hey, so-and-so opened up today.
Nice.
And it's so rewarding, but they have to feel safe, loved, and supported.
Right. And so that's what it's all about. Now, on the diversion part, okay, so I'm going to not have to go to court. Maybe I've got this chance to go to this thing at school. I assume probably some of those kids go into it as, well, this is probably better than court, but I'm not really sure how I feel about
Probably
it.
all of them go into it thinking, well, it's the lesser of two evils.
Right.
And ironically, it's in talking with our staffing, one of the favorite things our staff love to do is the diversion workshops. They are the most unpredictable because when you show up at that first workshop, many of those, they're there. They don't want to be there,
Right.
but they're there. But what they find is the life transformation that can happen over a few weeks of spending evening after evening together becomes so powerful. And so the students often come in with a chip on their shoulder. They come in feeling like they are owed something and they were treated unjustly. But that changes quickly. Once again, providing a safe place. We're not there to dole out discipline. We're there to show that there are choices and opportunities available to them.
Sure. And so do you find this helps keep kids out of the system and they're not back in trouble again?
Yes. On the last stats that we had provided to us from the court it's a 85% non-reoffend rate, which is phenomenal.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that is terrific. Now, there's a third leg to the Hope Collaborative stool, and tell me about that one.
Yeah, that's Hope Place. It's actually a center in Beechmont, and it is the area of Louisville where many of our refugees are placed when coming to the U.S., and as a result of that, it's the most diverse area. Over 100 languages within a few blocks are spoken in that area. And it is a center where we provide support to the students again, after school, and then also in our summer school programs.
Boy, I can imagine how confusing it must be to be kind of dropped into an area like that with everything is unfamiliar and everybody around you is unfamiliar.
Yeah. Many times they've come from places that everything around them was hostile. That's why they're being transplanted.
Right.
But they don't know anything other than that. And we want to provide them a place where they feel loved and safe. And as a result of that, they can learn, they can be loved, they can see that there is compassion around them, and that changes their lives. Often it heals trauma in their heart.
Nice. I bet you don't run out of things to do in a day, right?
No, never a dull moment.
Got a full plate. So do you have any special events coming up that you need to talk to us about?
Yeah, we have Spreading Hope coming up on March 24th at 5 o'clock. That's actually at our Beechmont Center and Hope Place Center. And it is a support and awareness. So if people are interested in looking for ways to learn more about Hope Collaborative, all three areas of what we do will be provided there. They'll get to hear firsthand testimony from both students and parents about how this has changed their lives, impacted them, as well as those who have volunteered.
Well, that will be good. And there's no cost for that. Just show up, right?
There is no cost for that. We actually are in another one of our many partnerships that we have at Hope Place. We are partnering with Soso Somoza, who actually caters, international, who caters out of our Hope Place location as they got their family on their feet. They will be providing these hors d'oeuvres, these African treats for our evening. So it'll be a culturally immersive experience for anyone who shows up.
Wow, that sounds great. So if you're thinking at all that you might want to be a mentor and be involved in some way with Hope Collaborative, that is the perfect time to come and learn more. Excellent time to come. All right, and they can get that on the website. They can get all the information about it?
Yes, hopeccd.org.
Okay, well, if somebody wants to get involved, what are the things that you need the most right now as far as materials, money, volunteers? What do you need?
Yeah, volunteers, number one. Now, I say that and I chuckle because we chalked up over 25,000 hours of volunteer time in 2022.
Wow.
So we thank all those who have faithfully volunteered, but we need more. Every school district is requesting more mentors, more support. We just need that across the board. So volunteers, we absolutely need that. We also need business partners or individuals and churches who will sponsor. We actually need churches sometimes to host or other locations that will host some of our diversion workshops because we hold them across the area, and those sometimes we have them at our location, but we like to also spread them out to make it more convenient for families depending on where they're coming from.
Sure. So you said 90% of your mentors come back, and 85% of the students that go through the diversion process are not going back into the system and committing more crimes and getting in more trouble. That is terrific and almost unheard of. What a great ministry. It's got to be just so incredibly rewarding every day.
It is. Life transformation is fun for all of us. Think of it as a parent watching your kids or a grandparent watching your grandchildren grow up and seeing them succeed. There's so much reward in that. And this is possible in our community. Many times what we see as failures are opportunities to see people succeed. And all it takes is love. So anyone who can volunteer, anyone who can give, this is sustained. We run very lean, but we still need money to operate. And so donations are always welcomed.
Yep, nonprofits, last time I checked, the power company still charges for the lights to be on and all that. Absolutely. HopeCCD.org is the website. You can learn about the event on March 24th. You can find out how to give there. You can find out how to volunteer. Yes. So it's all right there. Well, Scott, that's really neat. It was great to be able to spend some time with you today. And do you have a story? And I know that we can't really share names and personal information. I wouldn't want to do that. But do you have a story you'd like to share of just something you've seen that was really transformational, that just really has been a blessing to you?
Yeah. I have so many stories.
Right.
Even though I haven't been here super long, so many stories. But I think probably the things that most impress, the things I get to see glimpses of every day are parents who stop by and just express deep appreciation for the impact that volunteers have made across all three programs, who would just express that with sometimes tears in their eyes and being grateful that somebody came along. And it's not that we saved the kid. Right. We just were one more piece in the valuable relationship puzzle that is needed for support. And so a lot of times parents are doing everything they can, but that extra little bit of support changes the world. One of the things that will be shared at the 24th event, so I'll just share a little glimpse into this, is a student that has been with us for 4 years, getting ready to graduate from one of the high schools this year, who had the same mentor all 4 years.
Wow.
You'll get to hear that student. You'll get to hear their parents talk about how that journey made a huge impact, not only on that student's life, but also on their entire family. And the gratitude that they have because somebody, in this case, I'll just say, a Coca-Cola employee took 1 hour out of every week during a school year and invested in a student. Wow. It changes the world.
That is cool. I love it. Hope Collaborative. Again, Scott Brown in the studio with us this morning. Thank you so much. The website, very important. Write this down somewhere. HopeCCD.org. You can find out everything you need to know. And we hope to see you there on the 24th of March. Scott, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Steve, and WayFM.
Thanks for listening to Connect on WayFM.